Hey everyone, my name is Emma. I like Disney, musicals and all things cozy. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. We have 2 new Proshots coming soon, and there's also a new adaptation of a big movie. So I'm going to be talking about kind of my highlight reel of things that I'm excited about in theatre in the foreseeable future. So the first thing that I'm super excited about is Waitress has finally gotten its Proshot release date. In the main cast, there is Sara Bareilles, who wrote the music to Waitress. As much as there's been some amazing Jenners, some of my favourites are Betsy Wolfe, obviously Jessie Mueller, the OG Jenner. She has a special place in my heart as well. Catherine Foster, because she's the one I saw here in England. Jordan Sparks, I think, was like a brilliant stunt cast. Waitress have had quite a few stunt casts over the years. So many amazing Jenners that could have easily been in this Proshot, but I think the fact that they have made Sara Bareilles Jenner makes so much sense considering she wrote all this music. And I think also it's going to have more of a commercial appeal, which I think can only bring in more sales, which is ultimately what producers are looking for when they put out these things. They want people to come and see it. So in the cast, Charity Angel Dawson, Caitlin Howlahan, Drew Gelling, Dakin Matthews, Eric Anderson, Joe Tippett and Christopher Fitzgerald. Drew Gelling was the original Dr. Pomatter. He's played, I think he's probably played this part more than any other cast member. He's been in so many different versions of the show. He is, at this point, Dr. Pomatter. I personally love David Hunter as well here in the UK. I fell in love with his Dr. Pomatter. Drew Gelling's Dr. Pomatter is kind of very much like dreamy. You just sit there kind of going like swoon, like you fall in love with him instantly. I don't know what it is about him. He's just kind of really charming. But David Hunter's Dr. Pomatter was the complete opposite. Like he leaned more into kind of more like the dorky side and the cute side of things rather than like swoon hunk doctor. And I really think they had two very different versions. I'm so happy that Drew Gelling is joining for the Proshot because in my eyes there could be no other Broadway leading Dr. Pomatter than Drew Gelling. He's just synonymous with the show at this point. So the directors of the show is Diane Paulus, Jessie Nelson and Brett Sullivan. Writers Jessie Nelson and Adrienne Shelley. Sara Bareilles also acts as the producer on this film, which seems very appropriate as well. It's going to only show for 5 days in select cinemas. It's going to premiere in US cinemas from the 7th of December. So this is definitely the month for Proshots. We also have The Prince of Egypt coming, and I am actually thrilled. I have a close relationship with the original animated film because I grew up on it, and the music is absolutely stunning. It's written by 2 of the greatest minds of all time, in my opinion, Hans Zimmer and Stephen Schwartz. Stephen Schwartz, he's great. He's written Wicked and Hunchback of Notre Dame, Pocahontas, Pippin, you name it. He's a great lyricist whom I respect very much, and Hans Zimmer. I think most people, even if they're not even into musical theatre, they know who Hans Zimmer is. I unfortunately never got to see the Prince of Egypt musical. Like when it first was announced, I was so excited and I looked at all the press releases, all the little clips, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. And then the pandemic hit, and unfortunately I never got to see it. And by the time I sort of had gone to London next time around, it had closed up. And I just never got a chance to catch it. So I'm so excited that not only are we getting a Proshot shot in London in the UK, because it makes me so proud. As much as I love Broadway, obviously it gets amazing exposure all the time. The West End doesn't always, and I think there's just as much talent on the West End as there is on Broadway. That might be controversial for some people, but I do believe that. We don't have to wait as long as the Waitress musical for this. The Prince of Egypt Proshot will be released on the 19th of October 2023, but in America it's going to release at November 15th. I'm so excited to go and see this. It's going to be released in the cinemas all over the UK, and I will definitely make a little video review when I've had a chance to see it. So in the lead cast, we have Luke Brady as Moses, Liam Tamn as Ramses, Christine Alado, Sipora? I feel like I should know this because I've seen the original movie. I'm sorry. And Alexa Kadim as Miriam. So the book of the show is written by Philip Lesebnik. Stephen Schwartz has written 10 new songs for this musical. I can't believe it. If it's of the same quality as the original movie, I'm going to be very impressed. Sometimes animation to stage doesn't always transcend, but I have every faith that this is going to be great. I'm so happy that they decided to give it the Proshot treatment. I think musicals like Hamilton being so successful doing a Proshot has been really beneficial for other types of theatre, because I love theatre, but it's very gatekeepery, especially by the producers and people who put on the shows, because they're quite precious about putting theatre out there, or at least they have been more in the past. With pandemic life and everything, they kind of realised the value of bringing out these Proshots. The argument you always would hear producers say is that if we put this out as a Proshot, no one's going to come and see the show. It's the complete opposite. A theatre fan will love having any kind of format that they can get their hands on. Having Proshots being more accessible is definitely going to change theatre. Also, ever since the pandemic, there has been so many reports about fewer people going to the theatre, and it's not because of the Proshots, it's because of the cost of living crisis. People can't afford it anymore. It's a very elite thing, theatre, and you know how much I love it, but it has to be addressed. That's a huge factor of people not going to the theatre. So hearing that they're now doing these Proshots, it's only going to bring more eyes and more butts in the seats. I think we're going to see a lot more Proshots coming this year that probably have yet to be announced. And I think it's important that we go to the cinema to support these movies when they come out, to show producers that we want to see more Proshots. As I'm filming this, yesterday it was announced that the beloved film Devil Wears Prada is going to have a musical that's going to open at the Dominion Theatre in October next year, so 2024. I am super buzzed about this. I think most of us who grew up in the 2000s acknowledges that Devil Wears Prada. It's been a cult classic for years. You can't go wrong with Meryl Streep.
Truth is, there is no one that can do what I do.
So the casting of this musical is still very much up in the air, but the music is going to be written by Sir Elton John, which is just incredible. Elton John has dabbled in musical theatre before. He's done things like The Lion King, both the movie and the musical version. He's done Aida, and he's also done Billy Elliot, the musical. Lyrics from singer-songwriter Shaina Taub and a book by Kate Weatherhead. I kind of hoping that they're going to go more down a comedic route, because the character of Miranda is this kind of like nasty boss. I kind of hope they're going to go a bit camp with it and over the top. I think the movie has a more serious vibe, which is fine, but I think like underlining it's a bit funny, and I hope they can just amp that up a little bit more for the stage. If you could make any Proshot of any musical, what would it be and why? And why do you think more people should get the opportunity to see it? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. It would mean a lot to me if you could give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, as I'm only a small content creator and every little bit helps. Also find me on TikTok. I am Emma Scow Music. I will link this in the description so you can go and follow me there. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. Stay magical and bye. I swear to God, these outros keep getting weirder and weirder. Okay, bye.